Hey guys, this is Joe with Cigar. Now this afternoon I'm going to take a look at Punch Rare Corojo and Champion. Now this is a funny looking cigar that has promises of being a pretty good smoke. Let's find out in the review ahead. Hey guys, if you're new to this channel and you enjoy cigar reviews and cigar related artwork, consider clicking that subscribe button. Now the cigar I'm smoking today is the Punch Rare Corojo, and this particular vitola, or the size of the cigar, is the Champion. It's a 4.5 by 60. The shape of the cigar, however, is called a figurado. It's got a really cool shape. I mean, it kind of bulges here in the center. At the center, it's about 60 ring gauge, tapers down towards the foot, and it really definitely tapers down towards the head of the cigar. And that wrapper on the cigar is just outstanding. I mean, it's got a beautiful rustic looking wrapper with a slight oil sheen. It's an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrap. The color of it is just really impressive, and I have to say, even though the band on the cigar is pretty simple looking, it just really pops on this wrapper. I mean, the reds and gold, there's nothing extravagant about that band, but it does pop on this stick. It does stand out, and although it's kind of put on sloppy towards here in the back, is still a pretty impressive looking cigar. It's definitely one I cannot wait to smoke. So on that note, guys, let's cut this guy up, light it up, and see how good it really is. That's a really interesting flavor just from that first puff, especially in the retrohale. The flavors to me are pretty much just tobacco. So I'm getting these tobaccos, but there's nothing bitter about them. There's nothing harsh. I mean, it's just a very rich flavor to the tobacco, very smooth. However, in that retrohale, there's something else going on. I still get those same tobacco notes, but in this backdrop, I'm almost getting like almost like a cocoa type flavor. I don't think it is cocoa though, but it almost has like this cocoa-esque type flavor in there as well. So definitely an interesting start to the stick. So I'll keep working on it, and I'll come back here with an update shortly. Okay, I'm probably about a third down into the stick. It's really kind of hard to gauge where you're at just based on the shape of it, but for me, the flavors are pretty elusive. They're kind of hard to identify. Now, as I draw on it, there's almost like these light leathery type notes. That tobacco flavor that I was tasting early on has dropped off. But I'm not just getting like a leathery taste either. I'm getting these other flavors in there. It's a very good tasting cigar. It's just really hard to put your finger on exactly what you're tasting. In the retrohale, there's this sweet spice. That spice does have a little bit of a bite to it. I do feel it in my sinuses a little bit, but it's nothing that really takes you out of the smoke either. I mean, it's just got like this little bite that kind of lingers on. And there's almost like these cocoa-esque type flavors without tasting like cocoa, if that makes any sense. I mean, overall, kind of like a creamy, very smooth tasting cigar, just a really good tasting cigar. Construction wise, it's a little bit different story with this stick. When I first started smoking on it, for me the smoke output was, it just really dropped off. It kind of got an airy taste. I had to relight it. After relighting it, it seems to be better now. It's not at the level that I would, prefer as far as smoke output goes, and I don't know if that's because of the shape of the cigar or just this particular stick. But I have had some difficulty with smoke output. The burn is also a little bit wonky. Probably going to touch it up here in a second, but it's nothing that's gone too far off as far as the burn goes, but it is a little wonky and does need some attention. The ash is nice, solid white ash. Other than that, I mean, other than the construction issues, I have to say I'm really enjoying the stick. It's definitely got an impressive taste. It's got this very smooth and almost creamy-esque, not super creamy, but like this creamy-esque type flavor to it. Definitely a really good stick through the first, I'd say about the first third of it. So I'll keep working on it. We'll see how it changes as I progress through the next section of the stick, and I'll come back with my next update. Okay, I'm not exactly sure if that's 2/3 down, but I'm gonna call it 2/3 just for this update. For me, the flavors did change quite a bit in the second third. Well, flavors are pretty consistent from before. The main difference is that those sweet notes that I was picking up earlier pretty much dropped off. What I get now is mainly like a base flavor of this light wooziness. It's just this very smooth wooziness that I taste through the smoke. That retrohale, there's still a spice. For the most part, it wasn't sweet at all until that last retrohale, and then I'm starting to pick up some light sweet notes again. But overall, it's just kind of a little bit dry, but just a very smooth tasting cigar. I mean, it's still a good stick. I think the flavors in the first third were probably my favorite up to this stage so far, but these are still pretty good. Definitely has a very smooth taste. That creaminess that I was picking up earlier, I think that's dropped off as well. It's just pretty much just this very smooth, kind of this woodsy notes that I'm tasting at this stage. Now, construction wise, for me, the smoke output did improve. It seemed to improve once I got past that bulge, that 30 ring gauge section. The burn, I actually never did touch up the burn. It seemed to self-correct itself, so no issues there either. So overall, definitely an enjoyable stick. I've enjoyed it through the first 2 phases. Looking forward to see how it finishes out. So I'll keep smoking on it, and I'll come back with my final update. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this review, and I have to say overall the flavors in the final third were pretty consistent with the previous section. It was just pretty much a woodsy tasting cigar for me at this stage. Definitely an enjoyable smoke, and for one that's probably around $5 a stick, somewhere in that neighborhood, definitely worth buying. I have to say the only thing I would like to do is try a different vitola. I'd like to try a larger cigar, one that's more of a traditional cigar shape as well, to see if that kind of gets around those draw issues that I experienced earlier in the stick. But for the most part, I definitely enjoyed all 3 phases of the stick. It's one I would smoke again. It's definitely one I recommend. Now, if you've had this cigar before, let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next review.